So most of the situations where the opponents were rushing through it, and Cure had to take the situation really well and was able to win. And Cure is mentioning the harassing.
상대가 편하게 하면은
So if the opponent goes comfortably,
불리한 것도 역전이 안 되더라고요.
it's really hard to turn around the situation. So I try to go for harassing, and I think it was really good for me.
요즘 물이 오른 것 같아요. 요즘 어떠세요?
Cure mentioning his microcontrols.
요즘은 레더 하는데
When I play ladder, honestly, I don't really lose much. I'm very confident.
팀 내 워낙 다
Even inside a team, but all our teammates are doing well.
그런데 지금 가장 성적이 좋잖아요.
And obviously, Cure is the best player at the moment for Junior Green Wings.
기대를 하고 있는데 그리고
So everyone's looking forward to him. And Cure is mentioning his game against Dork, his first match in Legacy of the Void.
토스전 맨날 하면서
And Cure says, every time I play TVP, I just feel that I just win it really hard. You know, I just follow up a really bad situation, but win it in the end.
아 그래요. 자 앞으로 이제 조지명식과 함께
And now we have group selection coming up after this round.
팀장에서는 4강까지 올라갔었어요.
And Cure was able to make it to the semifinals in Heart of the Swarm.
생각나시죠?
네, 좀 지난 일이긴 하지만
He says it's from the past, but still I could remember the past. And
이번엔 4강이 아니라
this time not only semifinals, but I want to make it to the finals.
그때 4강에서 이렇게 멈추게 됐을 때 뭐가 가장 아쉬웠어요?
아 그때 제가
When I didn't make it to the finals, I didn't really have a good mental state back then. So each game I lost, I was worried about it. You know,
멘탈 관리를 못했던 것 같아요.
I wasn't able to take care of myself. But now I've gotten better, I guess.
자, 김도욱 선수 오늘 이렇게 테란으로서 또 한 번
And now, as a Terran, he has shown us a possibility of winning the GSL. Let's see what he's got to say for his fans.
좋은 기회 잡은 만큼
It's a good opportunity for me. It's been a long time. I'm going to try harder, and for this season, I will try to make it to the finals. And this was Cure.
네, 그리고 바로 김도욱 선수가 공허의 유산
All right, we see it now. Cure moving on. Look, he looks really good.
Yeah.
And I didn't take off these gloves. We found these backstage. These are gloves dipped in rubber. But I could tell our viewers it's the blood of nerds that I've killed.
No, Jam. It's not fun.
It's not fun? You know what I can do if a nerd tries to get away from you with these rubber gloves? I can grab onto him and he can't run?
No.
We are going to go to a short break. When we come back, we're going to go on to the losers match in today's GSL Code S.
Mr. V, it's yours. Yeah, and right now we want y'all to move back.
언제나 있는 그대로의 맑고 깨끗함을 지켜가라고. 겨울을 잊은 강물이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성 사이다.
We are hope.
We are honor.
We are courage.
We are justice.
We are compassion.
We are determined. determination.
We are harmony. We are Overwatch.
회의가 좀 늦게 끝나서.
아 그래요? 괜찮아요. 그냥 게임 몇 판 하면서 내리고 있을게요.
아씨 뭐 하는 거야 아이고. 아 오라고 좀. 뭐 철 만들었나 부서지지도 않네. 오.
치킨 먹고 갈래. 치킨만 먹고 가라. 한 번 맛보면 매니아가 된다. 치킨 매니아. 자네가 그 치킨 매니아인가?
웬열? 와, 움직임이 끝내주는데. 아, 진짜 부드럽게 움직이네. 플렉스볼은 굴곡진 덕선에도 막힘이 없거든. 발음 조심하자. 나 덕선이라 그랬냐? 덕선에도 막힘이 없다고. 저게 면도기로 가능한 거네. 역시 대세답네. 대세가 뭐야? 전세 같은 거? 요새 애들 다 쓰지? 그게 대세야. 그래가지고 내가 저거 쓰잖아. 그래서 나도 저거 쓰잖아. 선우는 뭐 쓰지? 보라 누나한테 물어봐. 태기는 뭐 써? 덕선... 너 나한테 왜 그러냐? 덕선이는 아직도 좋아. 야, 마이콜은 뭐 쓰냐?
2,500만 명이 응답한 플렉스볼. 아직도 안 써보셨나요? 질렛, 남자를 위한 최상의 선택.
K3에 지치지 않는 열정으로.
Passion is my fuel. The new K3.
신제품 브라운 시리즈 3를 소개합니다. 몇 번의 움직임만으로도 빠른 밀착 면도와 최적의 피부 편안함을 선사합니다. 전에 없던 빠른 속도를 경험하라. 신제품 브라운 시리즈 3 Only from Brown.
땀, 타협하지 않기에 멈추지 않는다. 말이 아닌 땀으로 보여줄 것이다. 땀 흘리는 순간의 게토레이드.
항상 실패는 잊혀지기 마련입니다. 사람들이 기억하고 떠올리는 건 승리한 자손에 쥐어진 트로피뿐일지도 모르죠. 패배에 낙담을 하고 고개를 떨군 그 모습은 어떤 누구도 끝까지 기억하진 않을 겁니다. 하지만 패배를 두려워하지 않습니다. 포기하지 않습니다. 그들은 다시 한번 달려나가기 위해 노력합니다. 경쟁에서 이기고 환호하며 관중들에게 박수를 받는 그 짜릿한 순간을 항상 머릿속에 그리기 때문이죠. 그래서 오늘도 그들은 여기로 향합니다.
말리면 이 울트라가 시작 들고 있을 때 정면 밀어버려야죠. 그리고 타르키가 살아있는
밀어야죠. 자, 잡아내면서 이번에 총각 전화만 펼쳐봐야 됩니다. 들어봐야죠.
타르키가 살아있기 때문에 해방선이 나와봤자 자리 잡으면 바로 잡히거든요. 지금처럼.
울트라 무너지나 이번에 밀어붙여 성공을 했습니다. 지금도 기가 막히게 들어갔어요.
2016 Hot 6 GSL Season 1 Contest.
Made of these. Sweet games are made of these.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They certainly are. It's a good night of games so far.
It is. It's
really
been a fantastic
solid
night of games.
In fact, looking at this, I enjoyed the first match. I enjoyed the second match. I enjoyed the third match.
All these matches get the official Artosis signature of approval.
Yeah. Some serious enjoyment going on tonight, Tasis, and even more is to come. Stork against Forte coming up next.
It's scary time, guys. Somebody's about to be knocked out of Code S.
Yeah.
Forte seems to be in good form right now.
Yeah, he really does. He played nicely.
Stork, I mean, I want to say lackluster performance, but I definitely right now say he's playing the weakest out of everybody.
Yeah, I think it looked weaker than he truly is playing tonight, because I think the first game, it's like, okay, this one really big mistake. Yeah, you lost a couple prisms. That sucks.
Sure.
But one really big game-ending mistake with that blink. And then in the second one, like, he really thought drops were coming in his back, and then he just got wrecked.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, okay, I mean, that doesn't mean he's, like, mechanically bad. He definitely made a bad call
He
there.
just got
like,
outmaneuvered there.
Yeah. So I don't know. I still think he absolutely has what it takes to beat Forte here, maybe even get out of the group still. But the thing that I feared most for Stork is possibly having him play against Curious. Curious is like pretty monstrous.
That may be our final game, and I look forward to that if it's the case. If not, it's going to be the rematch, Curious against Forte. Countdown started. Let's do this. The losers match of today's GSL Code S. Bottom left in the blue, he is
Samsung Galaxy Star.
That's where babies come from. That's how baby Tosis was brought in the world, delivered on the doorsteps of his mom's house by Stork.
Yeah, even though I'm like 5 years older.
I know, it's crazy.
MVP Chicken Mom. Forte.
He must have time warped America to do that.
We got a full house here tonight. A lot of people in the studio.
His voice is soft, but his play is loud.
By the way, we have a looks like a quick tech here from Stork. We'll see if he actually makes a Nexus with this. We've pretty much always seen the Nexus. I'm just curious. No, he's got enough minerals. Yeah, he's definitely going to make a Nexus.
Yeah, the Forte, on the other hand, absolutely going for one-base tech with a lot of harassment, no doubt. But Stork's going to scout this right away. And when you get to scout that right away, it's much less likely to really do as much. He just has to decide how he wants to actually fight against this double gas opener. Does he go Stargate or does he go Robo?
And one thing to note is that when you see Terran do this, they're always going to be doing something aggressive to you. They can't just be like, oh, damn, you scouted me, and then just make a command center.
Yeah, and
you're just going to be behind then.
And if you can really shut it down.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cute.
I didn't see
that was 4 Stork hits.
Was it 4 Stork hits?
I believe it was.
I thought one was Slayer's Boxer's head.
I thought. I don't know. It was hard to see. I thought it was 4 Stork hits. Anyways, okay, so what I want to say is, like, when you play against this as Protoss, if you can, like, stop the harassment pretty dead in his tracks, your third base is free. It's like, it's just, do you actually take much damage from this at all?
That's very true. We have a much larger Korean audience here tonight. A lot of people actually coming down to support Stork.
I'm here for Forte.
Hey, man, I'm excited to see Stork playing and doing well here, too. I'm really hoping he can move on to the round of 16. That'd be really cool. Then again, any of these guys move on, it's still great. So it's going to be a Stargate here.
Yeah, you know, that's always a good counter to tech. I do like that Forte has gone ahead and gotten his command center before that starport. You know, especially when his tech was scouted. If he's waiting for his command center to, like, after, let's say, it's just so much later, and already there's, like, not too much chance of doing a lot of damage since Stork knows you're teching.
We have the Adept coming out now.
Yeah,
and the 2 Hellions. This is not the first time we've seen stuff like this with Stork.
This could be some damage.
He seems to be a little bit rough around the edges with some of this early game stuff. I was saying earlier this guy has the best builds, but he has not had an easy time early on. Now, to be honest, that actually went surprisingly well because he only lost 2 probes.
Yeah.
And the Hellions were killed off, so.
Little bit of mining time, a couple probes. I'll take it, definitely, if I'm Stork there. Looks like, okay, just hiding a Widow Mine. Good against things like Oracles trying to fly in.
And the third base is now being taken. We'll see if he can hold off any more harass. It's much more impactful when the medevac actually comes out and the drops do begin. I mean, the 2 Hellions, that's always a great poke, especially when you see that Adept is out of position.
We should be seeing a Robo thrown up pretty quickly here because he should actually be expecting like something to the effect of a Widow Mine drop coming up. But of course, if you have enough Phoenixes, you can just kind of lift the mines up. But as you see, he stopped that first harassment really, really well, so immediately making that third Nexus because, again, it's basically free.
Yeah, there's just not much that can be done to contest that. We have the medevac coming over here. Is he actually going to go in the line where the Phoenix is? Yes, he will. Okay, good backup there.
And even just getting that to back up, like this, so far the harassment has gone really, really terribly against Stork. And it kind of comes back to what you were talking about earlier, Tasteless, with like how doing harassment builds against Stork early game might not be a good idea.
Yeah, I would think to go into late game is probably the best bet.
I would say especially after, you know, Forte saw him just crush Kier early game when Kier did the same type of build. And now Forte's tried to do it, and he's done no damage also. Both basically doing none, so definitely something that Forte's going to have to learn from. Like, even if he wins this game, he might want to just completely skip early game, like, technical harassment like this.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, I like that. That's pretty cute, actually, to get the Warp Prism, the double Widow Mine there.
Love moves like that.
Well, I mean, that could knock Stork into a really bad spot right there. I mean, we know inevitably Warp Prisms are going to come into this game. That's a unit that you always get in PvT eventually.
Sometimes you even go to harass with your Phoenixes. What if that hits a group of clumped Phoenixes? That could be something that, you know, just kind of steamrolls Stork. Because when you go for a Phoenix opening, you generally get Resonating Glaives so that you can actually deal with ground units very easily instead of Blink.
You need to have that air-ground balance.
Exactly. And if you lose your Phoenixes, that's the worst thing that can happen. Drops can absolutely tear you apart from there.
And so far, he hasn't gone into the Widow mines just yet. And he's going to be able to see, well, I don't know if he actually saw that the Terran's going to take the third, but he knows that's eventually going to happen. Warp Prism about to come out now. Protoss just staying a little bit ahead of Terran. Yeah. But we got to see how they engage each other to really gauge you know, where this game's going to be. Miscontrol by either of the two parties, and things can, you know, really change entirely.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely is the case, and something that can decide a game like this very, very quickly. But as of right now, it doesn't seem like either of them can do too much harass-wise. We do have a Prism coming up. We did just see, you know, a little bit of Phoenix shenanigans back there, but there's great defense here for Forte. He's sewn up pretty darn tight.
Now, here's where I'm getting worried, Artosis. This is looking not good.
Yeah, if he fills that up and flies in,
he could bait this right into here.
Oh man!
Oh boy!
Knowing Stork, he absolutely will lose this Prism. Like, he's very good at defending, but when he does this type of move, the amount of shuttles that I've seen Stork lose in StarCraft 1 is outstanding because he's always doing something else while he sends it in.
Wait!
Oh boy!
Now there's a chance.
Oh boy! This is scary. Oh my god, he goes right by it. He goes right by them. Oh, that is brutal for Forte. And this is a lot of Adepts coming in. They do have those Resonating Glaives. They're about to have +1 attack as well. That's going to make them really massacre the SCVs.
Yeah, and he's got that now. Meanwhile, phasing in over here.
Yeah, doesn't actually get too much done, but it was good enough.
Oh my god.
Oh.
And he goes right by the Liberation Zones. Oh.
I like that.
Yeah, that was smart.
Yeah.
He would have lost those otherwise, but that was still pretty cool.
This has been some pretty cool moves by Stork, who's now taking his 4th base, getting some disruptors. I think he'll go into Colossus Tech because Stork seems like Colossus in the matchup.
He does play this a little bit like he did Brood War PvT. I don't know if this 4th base is safe enough to take. In Brood War, you expanded a little bit more quickly against Terran. you looked a lot more like you were Zerg against them. Oh my God!
Look, he drops where the Widowmines used to be.
This guy is like, seriously, he is like dancing with death. He has no idea these Widowmines are right here and actually could cost him the game. And meanwhile, he comes in over here. Really nicely done, taking out some more workers.
Now, if he just shades out of here, that's going to be fantastic. He does send those shades out right now. And in fact, killing off Marines while he waits for them to teleport out. And I mean, there they go. 16 SCVs down. Good tech for Stork right now. He's got that 4th base up and mining, but looks like Forte is going to move out.
Okay, they're pushing out now. He's got to be careful because if Stork can handle this correctly, then Terran is not going to get a 4th base ever. So he's getting together here. Now he has some disruptors. We got to see if he's if Forte is actually ready for this. Another drop in over here, and it does take out the Warp Prism.
Yeah, finally does lose that. Now, does Stork hold on here without taking too much damage? Because having that extra base and having killed as many SCVs as he has puts him in a great spot. And I would say his army is easily big enough to defend.
Yeah, and that Adept still, I would say Terran should not attack here. This is like, I think, very unwise. And again, he's just doing a great job with his harass, gunning down these SCVs. I guess something happened down there.
I'm not so sure
what that was.
Maybe a Widowmine drop or something like that.
Probably. Well, Protoss going to push out again here. He wants to regroup.
Yeah.
And basically, like a giant trapdoor spider, just wait right outside the base here for Forte.
By the way, I want to point out something that I'm seeing from Stork, because this is the second time he's done this, where he gets two or three disruptors and then Thermal Lance and then Colossus. That's the weak part of going Colossus, when you're waiting for Thermal Lance or enough splash damage for them to matter. But to have the 2 disruptors, this kind of like gives him enough to scare Terran off while he gets that. Really, really cool type of strategy from Stork that we don't really see from many Protoss.
Yeah, cool play with the Phoenixes too. He's just doing a good job of making sure that Terran is not leaving without Stork at least having a pretty good idea of what's going on. Oh, big play! Good assassination there on that medevac. Scanning. He does realize there must have been an observer or something to spot for that out there.
Yeah. A lot of Liberators being made right now for Forte. On Stork's side, he's actually going up to Tempest Tech, and this is something that he didn't do against Innovation, even though games called for it. And he actually,
that's right.
He said in the interview, he was like, oh, you know, I'm actually just not very comfortable using Tempest in the matchup. So to see that he has fixed that here, that really speaks well of his chances.
By the way, nice snipe there.
Ooh.
Really good job just taking out a Liberator. Oh, good job with the Disruptor.
The Disruptor's getting quite a bit of damage off there.
Yeah, and I think if he gets the Tempest here, I think he just starts to push. There's actually really not much Terran can do
no.
in that point in time.
The Disruptors are just going to continually push units back here. He's going to be able to pick stuff off slowly but surely. But we do have medevacs moving across the map right now.
Well, Terran's got to be careful because this is slowly going to corrode his defense up here. Oh, my God.
Oh, that's just brutal. But, you know, he has a drop of that 4th base. I don't know if that's going to be enough to really bring him back into this.
Just barely got that before it was spotted. He's going to tag the rest of this. Let's see how these drops do.
All right, whatever happened to this 4th base didn't do much. I thought it was a drop. I guess it was Liberators.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought it was a medevac.
Okay.
The Tempest should be... They're out, right? I'm not crazy. He has 2 Tempests.
He has 2 Tempests,
there, right?
I think that they would be flying there, but maybe not. He could be using them to just clear out the Liberator first.
Okay, well, when we get a shot of that next... good reaction there by Stork. When we get a shot of the army, we'll have an idea. Okay, there they are. He's got the Tempest. Get wrecked, Liberator. Now, that does give Terran enough time. You know, that sounds the alarms that Tempests are part of the game. And their travel time is not quick, so let's see if Terran can try to assemble something. It looks like he wants to push out here, hoping maybe he can engage this army when Stork is not entirely ready, not entirely comfortable. Although I think Stork should be in good shape if that is the game plan here for Forte.
Look, his army looks really good right now.
Ooh, good tag.
And we do have Forte actually teching up into Vikings to help counter the Colossi plus the Tempest. But Psystorm is already on the way for Stork, which is the next progression in that tech battle.
Great usage of these Disruptors here. Now, what he wants to do is send the Disruptors in underneath, try to get the infantry to back up, and then use a Tempest and possibly Stalkers to blink in here and get underneath these Liberators.
Yeah, this just kind of puts a clock on Forte. He can't just sit here all liberated up.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not a ton he can do, and the Vikings are not coming out very quickly here. Oh!
Wow, great splitting there by Forte.
Yeah, somehow
almost
that didn't connect with
nothing
anything.
hitting. And in fact, Stork just going to stay and fight. It's probably going to be fine. A lot of Vikings do join the fray, but
that's it.
So many stalkers here.
That is basically game.
Yep.
Really beautiful play there by Stork. He beats Forte in game number 1.
Yeah. That was really solid play, and we're starting to really see what Stork thinks of this matchup right now, because we already saw like a good chunk of it against Innovation, but
he's got a really cool way of approaching the matchup. I really like the tech a lot.
Yeah, I really like the fact that he's actually going into disruptors to have splash damage while he has a slight army advantage, and gets into Colossus, and then hits the rest of his tech. The Tempest, and then of course knowing that his opponent has to go against Colossus Tempest into some Vikings, gets that Side Storm. Just really, it seems it's very thought out by Stork, is what I'm trying to say. I guess he's not brute forcing people, he's not killing them necessarily through finesse, but strategically he's just like kind of staying a step ahead.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's such a developed way of approaching the game. It might be the most developed PvT that we've seen actually here in Legacy, where he really seems to know from start to finish what he's doing, what he's trying to do, and how to get there. It's kind of funny because the game's still so new, but you can really see this guy strategically has a really beautiful mind.
Yeah.
Let's see if Forte can come back on our next map. In the upper right in the blue, he is
Samsung Galaxy Star.
a lot of fans here for this guy. And in the bottom left, in the red, he is
MVP Chicken Mouth, Forte.
If I wasn't looking, I would have thought he said pulled. Now, Forte is actually doing a really good job today. He's showed us some pretty solid games overall, but he's against some pretty powerhouse names.
Yeah, I like that he's actually kind of learning from what we've seen so far today.
There is Stork back in the Brood War days.
Yeah.
Kissing that trophy.
Maybe he'll kiss another trophy.
Looks like a giant mineral.
But I like how Forte is learning from this.
Yeah, me too.
It's like Stork is just really on top of stopping these early game technical harasses. So he's gone for just a barracks into expansion, not even going for the Reaper.
Now this may end up triggering Protoss to do some kind of a DT drop here.
It could. It could.
We'll see. We'll see how many barracks he gets to. We've seen Tasia occasionally get 3 barracks with this. I don't know if that's the great play that you want to have, but that's what we've seen some of these Terrans do.
Definitely can be a mind game, I would say, as like your standard. Probably not going to be the right choice. But definitely you can mix things up. And the thing is, do you want to play a mind game against Stork? I would say against Stork you want to go into like a multitasking battle late game. Where
he just doesn't have
he plays a little bit less. Yeah. It seems like his early game is really mapped out. But definitely as we get later into the game, he's maybe not going to be able to keep up with some players that are playing, 12 hours every day. But, I mean, this is just like conjecture. I'm not exactly sure where his weaknesses are going to lie for this matchup. Other than Cure just playing like a god tonight.
He's so good, man. Cure really, really impressed us here tonight. So let's wait and see what the tech specifically is going to be here for Protoss. Does he get a Stargate? I wouldn't be surprised if he sticks with that.
Well, goes into the Twilight Council.
Upgrade complete.
Not bad when you know your opponent's tech is going to be a little bit slow here.
Yeah, that's true.
What will he do with it? Is he just going to grab Claves right off?
I'm not sure. Stork's always been a pretty technical player, but he's also done those barbarian strats. We've seen it in the past.
Barbarian strats.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like there are some of these beautiful Protoss builds you can do, and then there's these ones where you just like, I mean, I guess it would be similar to like the mass adept stuff we've.
Yeah. That's a barbarian strat.
Just,
like a 4-gate, that's a barbarian
you just
strat.
Club him over the head with a bunch of units. And
it's not too sophisticated, but it can get the job done.
Yeah, it certainly is. It could do some damage, man.
Yeah.
You can lose to it. And we might see some barbarism strats coming our way this time around, Artosis.
Yeah. Well, He is getting Resonating Glaives and what I assume is a Robotics 4 Warp Prism. So that's like, I mean, that's a little bit more than our Barbarian, right? That's a Barbarian at least that like the Romans gave metal weapons to.
Okay. A Barbarian that at least they attempted to make, you know, a little bit more sophisticated. Scan here. That's a good scan. He's going to see the Robo here. And yeah, Tosis, he's making more gates. Now, does he expand with this, or does he actually just make a bunch more gates after this, too?
I think that he's going to just keep it on 4 gates.
Okay.
I think he's just going to see what damage he can get done and probably expand behind this. And you know what? This could definitely do some work. I can see this doing damage, Tasteless.
Yeah, I think you're right. And he just makes a Nexus along with this. And this is, I guess, a bit more like Stork. It's not like he's going to get 3 more gates with this and cross his fingers and be like, here we go.
Even if he only, like, kills a bunch of bio and like doesn't really get SCVs, he's still all right because that means he's not going to be attacked anytime soon. But definitely can actually get damage done with that Resonating Glaze finishing up.
Well, this is going to act like a skewer. Oh man, spotted
did Forte
that.
See that? He did not. He did not see it.
Didn't see that blip on the mini map, and that means we're going to have some warpins right here. Beautiful.
Yeah, gets 3 warped in right off the bat here.
And he's going to continue to warp it. Looks like he just edged that warp prism back a little bit.
Cancels because everything stays up there. He's going to want to go ahead and shade again. Attacking into these Marines now as well. A lot of damage being dealt.
Oh, sick.
Well, there's a siege tank here to try to slow them down a little bit. Definitely is doing some damage to them, but as Stork targets down SCVs, gets a few more. In fact, going to kill off most of these Marines as well.
Yeah, he did a really good job back there.
I would say that this was completely good by Stork in every way. Like, he killed a good amount of SCVs and a good amount of Marines. Adepts early game are not a unit that he really needs to manipulate. Look at that, you can kill a siege tank.
Yeah, that's pretty big, man. Now he's cranking out Immortals with this, getting the Forges, albeit a little bit later. It certainly was worth it because Protoss has a 3rd base mining right now. Terran, on the other hand, does not at all. Yeah.
Gonna go ahead and land that 3rd command center, though. Definitely needs to kick his economy up a notch. You remember, now that I said that, do you remember Emerald Lagasse? Or Lagasse or whatever?
No, I don't even know what you're talking
It's
about.
like, bam! Like, kick it up a notch. He was like that famous chef on TV.
No, I don't know. I didn't watch much cooking TV when I was a kid. I was pretty. I could microwave a mean bag of popcorn, though, Artosis.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Actually, I've had microwave popcorn at your place before.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, you do a really
I do a great job. Oh, hold up. We got another drop over here, and he's going to get the Warp Prism.
All right, well.
Overextension there by Stork.
Yeah. That's right. He has enough units at home right now. Forte doesn't really have an army worthy of moving out in the map. So that's a little bit tough. Like, he can definitely do some harassment, but his army shouldn't be able to win anything in a heads-up fight at the moment.
Well, Terran is beginning to move out. It looks like he does notice that they're... Oh, no, I thought he was going to scan. Oh, yeah, he does scan and get that observer. We didn't get it on camera, but he shoots that down. And this puts Stork in the dark. Stork is going to have a much tougher time reading the movement of Terran. And I think that was a smart move here by Forte to then pick up and go into drop mode.
Yeah, and in fact, right now, look at the movements of Stork. He's actually looking to pick things off as they come. He's even got some good spotter pylons over on the right-hand side of the map. I believe he has an observer on the left-hand side.
This is a perfect pass here because he sees it and he's not over low ground, so he can't necessarily lose that.
Yeah, and he doesn't lose it. That's actually really good.
Storm is coming. Blink is almost done. Blink may be done by the time this drop actually gets over there. Uh-oh.
I don't think that actually kills that. Scares it away, at least.
Yeah, that's something. Keep him out of the base for a little bit longer. Sorry, go ahead.
4th base going down for Stork, and we do have a medevac passing that right away, seeing exactly when that starts. Not sure if Stork will be completely ready for that in his main base. Not really that big of a drop. 5 Marines, it looks like.
Yeah, and I think a pylon can just actually hold this off. So he just warps in a few adepts over here, tries to get maybe some probes. The Terran does, and we should have that pylon activated in a second here.
Well, looks like he will go ahead and boost into this back natural. Does have the Mothership port here waiting, so this is going to be a very easy defense if Stork wakes
well,
up.
I mean, he's gotten a lot. He's getting a lot of probes there. That was 8 probe kills total.
That was really good for that medevac.
Yeah, nicely done. That does put Terran in a slight econ lead here. Although the 4th base for Stork is done. And I think Terran is going to go ahead and just try to push you out now.
Yeah, let's see what he does. I like that we're seeing Terran start to experiment in TVP with these tank evacs, trying to see what they can get done. But there's actually a very good amount of Immortals. He has Blink. He has Resonating Glaives. He has +1 attack. I think that Stork will be fine.
Under this.
Oh. Well, almost gets that, but right now, oh my God, this is just brutal. Oh, this is so gross.
Just a massacre, and he should be able to blink again here. There we go.
Oh my, everything going wrong for Forte here.
Okay, I think he actually pushes into the 3rd now. The tanks just went, oh no, I thought they went north. They're going south now.
If he had a Prism right there, I would say just go push and kill him, but yeah. I think he just, I think his Prism is down the bottom center, or towards the right bottom right.
I think he's actually going to try to warp in here. He might just do a warp it into the main and then start attacking.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
There's one Widow Mine here, but that's not enough to stop him necessarily.
Yeah, one Widow Mine won't do it. But yeah, if he can just lure some units up, then so one way or the other, he's getting more damage here.
There's the poke, and now we're going to have the Adepts come out. He's going to gun down the turret and then begin warping in. Oh, okay. Well.
Oh. Well, that's actually really good for Forte that he flew into that. But the Adept's getting some serious damage done. And
yeah, certainly.
Even if he stops this, it's like, okay, well, he doesn't actually have to attack up into Forte's 3rd base. Stork is actually fine just continuing to tech up, get upgrades and everything.
Stork getting a lot of minerals packed up here, man. He's not quite macroing. This is definitely showing you that this guy is a coach now, not a pro gamer. A lot of the ideas are there. Sometimes the mechanical aspect is a little bit rusty.
Does at least fend off that drop for now. Going to throw another cannon down as well, so he doesn't have to worry about that in the future. Forte may be getting ready for another attack, or maybe...
I think he is. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. Well, he needs to push out somewhere. He might actually, once again, expand over here to the center left. Although in the last game we saw with him against Curious, he expanded to the bottom. But it didn't really matter.
He's still got a good army. It's just, I don't know. I haven't seen this type of composition kill like this kind of standard Protoss fair yet.
Yeah.
Between Blink Stalkers chasing on medevacs and siege tanks, the Immortals just dealing ridiculous damage, and the Psy Storm, it seems pretty tough.
Now that's what you want to do against tanks. Get them to land, slow the push down, keep massing up. And we see it. The shading is happening. He's moving forward.
Yeah, he's going to actually just shade on top of everything, or at least flank it. And if we can see some Psy Storms, this can definitely go towards Stork.
Yeah, the Immortal's also doing a ton of damage here to these tanks in the front. Beautiful Psy Storms.
Yeah, definitely needed that. But Forte actually kills quite a few units here as well.
Now it's going to be up to Stork to remass up. I think Forte might be able to get this push on and actually win this game.
Yeah.
He seems to just barely have it up. There's a lot of key units here for Protoss that are being picked off, and Liberators coming into play.
I don't know if he has any High Templars left, and that's definitely a very, very big deal. Now, Stork might be losing this 4th base. This is a very strong push utilizing siege tanks and Liberators.
This may force Stork to try to expand down here in the center right. He's going to come up here with these shades again. Is it going to work, though? It looks like definitely Stork would want to wait for his 2-2 to finish here.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to attack right before upgrades finish like that. He does have some Colossus out, making some Disruptors as well, adding in some High Templars, but this army of mostly Blink Stalkers that he has can't really do anything. He has to be very careful with them. He can't
the Disruptor coming out now.
Ooh.
Not a bad connection.
Yeah, he can't even save this base. It's not even possible, so I'm surprised he's even fighting right here, but this might just be GG coming up.
Yeah, this is going to bring us to game number 3. Stork has actually lost this game. Terran has just too much now. They're stuck on just Stalkers. That's never a good sign, unless you're really winning hard.
Yeah. Well, Stork played a very nice game. Really, the point that was the losing point for him was attacking up that hill against the entrenched position of Terran.
Yeah, well said.
There was no need. Like you said, just make the tank siege up. Just slow it down. Keep macroing. Get a big arc. Eventually, Terran is going to have to walk through an area where it's more to your advantage as the Protoss player with that type of army.
The Nexus is about to go down here. Now let's see, maybe he, with some good finesse, can actually come out here and get some kills. No, I don't think so, actually. As the reinforcements come up here, the supply differential is just too high.
Yeah, there's just nothing left for Stork. He'd need, like, countless gigantic disruptor hits.
Yeah, and as you can already see here, Forte is very cognizant of that. He is making sure his army is really spread out whenever there's a chance a disruptor could come into play here. Stork not giving up, though, just yet. He's trying to expand down here. Now, that should give away the fact that he's got another base over there in the bottom right. But Terran may just go into the main here, destroy the tech, the warp gates. That's checkmate as well.
Yep, it really is GG here. Stork just doesn't have an army to speak of. And the thing is, I believe he's harassing the 4th base of Forte. I think that Forte is, yeah, he's lost 9 SCVs during this. We're not, like, checking it out. But
there it is, GG. Okay, game number 3. One of these two players is very close to being eliminated. Furious sitting in the final match for today, thirsty for blood, Tosis.
Indeed he is, and blood he will have tasteless. Both these guys playing well, but this game for Stork, it really, like, attacking up that hill, I mean, siege tanks on high ground are much better than other siege tanks. There was, like, points where he wanted to cast a storm, couldn't do it.
You know, I think he was treating it like Terran did not have siege tanks.
Yeah.
Like maybe it was just Liberators and Marines and Marauders.
Yeah, maybe.
And honestly, you know, the tank always gets the shot off first. That's the general rule in ground versus ground. Siege tank always hits first, which means that you're basically always going to take. I mean, if it's an even fight, like as far as like if you look at the units and the math and the numbers,
yeah,
then you're probably going to lose because the tank damage already starts you off with a benefit.
Yeah, and the thing is, Stork's army was good enough to fight against that army, but not in that position up a hill.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you have to wait until the position is right. It can be hard, especially as they're closing in on your 4th base, but just some mistakes from Stork here cost them some games tonight.
Let's go to the last game for these two players. In the upper right, in the blue, from Brood War, he is
Samsung Galaxy Star.
Can he do it?
Hope so. In the bottom left, in the red, our Terran player.
MVP 치킨 막 포르테.
Okay.
We do have Terran shifting gears right now back into getting 2 gases right away.
Another heavy tech build out of Forte. So far, Stork has been pretty flawless against this type of play.
Yeah, let's see if he has something that we haven't seen so far. Because, yeah, Stork does not really struggle in early game.
Yeah, now, to be fair, both games that he was playing against these very tech-heavy openings, he went Stargate. One game he had scouted the tech. The other game I don't believe he had against Cure, if I recall correctly. But
yes.
Either way, like he's going to scout this so late, he's not really going to be able to tell exactly what's going on because he's scouting it second on a 4-player map, and it's kind of a late scout. So we don't know exactly what tech he's going to go for, and we don't know if he's going to hold it quite as well without those very important Phoenixes.
Yeah, he really did handle it pretty perfectly, but he also had the answer for everything that Terran was throwing at him. So let's see. Forte's had a lot of finesse in the early game. He's really had some good control. Although I do see this game pretty much no matter what going into the later game. Stork does seem to will his way into mid-game, always like at minimum.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any of these great disruptor drops. I think that may be somewhat due to the map. The maps that we've been playing on.
Yeah, you know, like for instance, one of the maps that he did that against Innovation was, oh my God.
Oh,
he just
wow.
let him in there.
Oh, that's a huge miss.
That's so important that, I mean.
We didn't even bother to comment on that until after the fact because it just never happens,
like,
you know?
Forte took the precaution of landing his buildings outside the range of a probe that comes up the ramp, but then didn't lift the depot. That's really, really big.
Wow.
And, I mean, Stork has already spent enough gas and enough time that he skips the Stargate altogether against this. He's going for Robo. That's completely fine. The fact that he knows it's coming makes the Robo a completely viable counter to this.
See, he's ready for anything like Hellions or Widow Mines, putting pylons right in the middle of his minerals.
Oh, man. Well, do you have that medevac coming out? Plenty of Marines and Hellions. Stork just has to make sure that he has his right units in the right place when this comes. I think he needs a pylon in front of his Nexus as well. This looks like something that could possibly all join up and try to hit the front.
Yeah, we might have some kind of funky one-base timing here.
Yeah, it could be.
Just kind of hoping that he can dismantle the Protoss early on. Protoss might have spread himself just a little bit too thin. Again, though, guys, as we've seen Stork, we've had more time to look at Stork games than anybody else that's actually in this tournament. Because this guy was playing long before StarCraft 2 was out. Is now a coach here in StarCraft 2. This guy normally doesn't fall apart in early game.
Yeah, no,
he's pretty rock solid, man.
Yeah. Stork was, well, hold on. We actually do have this attack coming. We have 3 Hellions coming up. This is going to help out a lot against those Adepts. The 4 Adepts do try to turn around and deal some damage here. The Mothership Core coming up. May throw down an overcharge.
Okay, pylon cannon. There it is.
All right, look at this. His gates just finished. His warp gate is done as well. He's able to warp in multiple Stalkers now. This is going to help out so much in this defense. And Forte really not finding the damage he needs.
Yep, Forte has been pushed out, but a Liberator is coming in over here. That pylon won't be in range to try to fight the Liberator either. So, you know, when it's got its Liberation Zone set up, Protoss is still pretty sparse on Stalkers, you know, so.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he could go around the bottom. Yep, our observer's showing us that right there.
In the meantime, there is some pressure from that medevac once again here. We do have more Stalkers being warped in. Really nice by Forte. He's just kind of drawing the units out of position, try to get some more damage up here. We do have the Mothership Core, but of course, you know, with those 50 energy overcharges, can't do, well, I guess does 2 there. I'm actually a little bit surprised at the 2.
Whoa.
But
gotta be careful, man. If you're not on top of those Stalkers when the Liberation Zone is set up, you can lose so much. It's crazy.
Yeah.
We have a Dark Shrine coming here, too, and a Warp Prism. So eventually, Stork will be ready for a counterattack.
Yeah. We do have that medevac trying to find some way, and this is really annoying for him. Does try to run forward now. Wants to take this out. Ooh, some miss micro there by Stork. Losing more Stalkers than he needed.
Just barely, yeah, he'll take that out, but not quite controlled as cleanly as you would expect there. He had some Stalkers just going in the wrong direction.
He definitely didn't have to lose that last Stalker, but let's see here. We do actually have him setting up that Liberation Zone once again, scanning and killing an Observer there. Very nicely done.
Okay, is he going to be able to gun down this medevac? All right, gets out just in time. Once again, 4 Stalkers. Now, he brought them up properly that time.
Much
that way,
better.
He only loses 2 there.
Yeah. And that's fine. You can lose 2 Stalkers against that, especially when you're on 2 bases more quickly than your Terran opponent.
Yes, certainly. And from here, he gets Blink. I think that Stork should have a pretty solid counter timing here.
Well, I think that this DT drop is a possible, like, game-ending type move. Like, the thing is, you take these bases so quick, you're much more likely to be dropping your mules very quickly, trying to make up that economy a bit.
Sure. That's actually a good point we hadn't even highlighted. Yeah, if it's a one-base Terran, they really want to try to catch up by using their mules as quickly as possible. Good control here by Stork. Not losing a single probe.
We do have a couple DTs just got warped in. That DT drop going to be coming up. Ooh, there's actually a mine right here.
Okay,
oh, he's going to lose it.
That's
that's big.
So bad.
If he had gotten the DT out, that is much, much better than what we see here.
Oh, my God. It's a miscontrol there.
Ooh.
All right, well, he seems to know what's happening down here. The SCVs are going to try to block him in here. Oh!
Wow,
nice
just
play.
Skirts out of there. Forte pulling this game together right now.
Wow, and he goes the split second that's done, he jumps back in there to try to get some more SCV kills.
I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Forte. He's moving in now with a couple Liberators, seeing if he can get some damage done. We do have a Photon Cannon here. Oh, that's really annoying. The double Liberation Zone.
I like the layeredness of this. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, good flank. Good flank.
And great play there. He takes out those 2 Liberators, and that's actually a pretty big loss here for Terran. The question is, how is Stork going to play from here on out? Blink is going to finish. He did lose that Warp Prism, though. And this seems to be sort of a theme with Stork. He's had a lot of games where he just can't get that Warp Prism over there. He's not able to adapt as well against his opponent, you know?
Yeah, he's not, like, over-microing the Warp Prism as it goes in. And he never did in Brood War either. Like, that's one of my big memories of Stork is just watching him lose shuttles.
He would
4
lose
DTs
shuttles
in him.
a lot.
Yeah.
He would still win most of the time, but
yeah.
he was like not this micro genius. It was really more he knew how to step by step continuously be ahead,
Yes.
how to tech, how to counterattack.
Exactly, and that's what we've seen here tonight as well. He's lost more Warp Prisms than you normally see a Protoss lose, but still, as far as when you look at his tech and his strategy, he's doing a great job, and that's how he's keeping in these games. And that's what you would expect, not only from his career, but also from the fact that he's a head coach.
Yeah. And it does seem like some of these Terrans have kind of identified this. He doesn't experience enough to know all the hiding spots for the Widow Mines, or to realize that, okay, it's pretty apparent that he's got a reputation for this, and people are exploiting that.
All right, well, right now we do have a move out from Forte, a couple siege tanks coming along as well. Stork about to have Resonating Glaives. Psystorm still on the way, has a good amount of Blink Stalkers as well.
And we have the drop over here with these Adepts. Will he have another warp in? Going into the main now. Marines trying to get it, unable to do so.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and break down those rocks right now. He needs to be able to move around quite a bit. Psystorm still coming.
There is a push coming here. I don't know if he's like fully aware that this is actually about to slap him right in the face.
Yeah,
he's coming out now.
Oh, he needs that Psystorm.
He needs it so badly.
All right, he
okay,
does actually
feedback there on the medevacs.
Well, right now these Immortals actually doing a lot of work as well. He has a lot of Adepts coming in. Does kill that siege tank. Pushes everything back.
Good split second decision there.
13 kills on these 2 Adepts.
That's crazy. You know, if you look back at that was such a smart move to just do the feedbacks there.
Yeah.
He said, okay, no healing. Let me do this right, and I'll actually push you back. And he's taking immediately a 4th base. Stork expands so much faster than other Protosses in this matchup.
Well, the thing is, he's reading the situation correctly. He fought back the push. He's got his critical upgrades right now, and he killed enough SCVs that, I mean, Forte is kind of on the back foot. Can he even produce completely?
Oh, man. And now this tank's going to go down.
Stork really fighting right through
Stork
this.
is chipping away at the old Forte block. This is pretty rough.
Time to lose another Warp Prism.
Okay, he's backing up now. Stork's still in good shape so far.
If you don't lose a Warp Prism every 3 minutes, you're not harassing enough, friend.
All right. Forte is almost under house arrest right now. Oh, but apparently not. He's going out with a little thing around his ankle. He's going to try to come out here anyways.
Well, Stork's Observer beeped, man. He's coming up, but right now we do have a double drop actually coming over here. Does have the Mothership Core down here, so that's good for this base, but that drop in the main could do some damage.
Yeah, now these medevacs can't actually heal here because of the feedbacks there.
I would like to see him warp in a single DT in his main base to help deal with stuff like this as well, but looks like he does just get some Adepts and a Stalker. It's going to take some damage here.
Yeah, this army is continuing to come through here and do a good job. And, yeah, great work. He's taken out a pylon. He's forced the probes to leave. This is definitely something.
Full energy. All right. Will finally force this all back.
You can see he wants that Stalker to actually get that medevac, but he keeps it alive.
1 hit point. 1 hit point.
Now, he does have some energy. Oh, but there's no Templars down here. I was like, well, he could just feed back again.
Okay.
Oh!
By the way, I'm 99% sure that he had a Warp Prism floating over that Widow Mine, and right before the Widow Mine was killed, it killed the Warp Prism. And the Warp Prism had 2 units in it.
Oh, that's pretty huge if that did happen.
Well, he's on track for losing a Warp Prism every 3 minutes. So.
Yeah, he's keeping up. We have more Warp-ins here. Gotta say, Forte doing a pretty damn good job. Oh!
Big catch right here. Taking down 20 supply for Forte.
Damn. Not even equalizer. Actually, that just puts him straight up in the lead here. Once again, Stork not able to spend his money quite quickly. All the signs of a really, really solid old school player who's back now and has not quite got all the basics mechanically here still.
Well, if he can spend all that money, his supply is really going to start to skyrocket. But already he's got the stronger army. He's got the stronger economy. Forte, though, he is making a 4th command center, and he is going to need to land that very, very soon to keep his economy up.
We see the Liberator coming up now. Terran range attack and armor is coming up here, too. Problem is I feel that Forte is just slowly feeding in here. Oh man, that's a
yeah.
that's not good.
He's trying to get some harassment damage still done while he takes his 4th base. It's like good to keep Stork back. You don't want Stork up here harassing this before you get your planetary, but Stork is on his way right now. We do have Ghosts and Cloak for Ghosts on the way for Forte, so definitely something that can help him out a lot against these High Templars.
He's going to come up here and wipe out these Medivacs and Marauders. Good play there. Eventually, I think Stork is just going to attack the bottom. He's got the supply. He might as well. But why not have another Warp Prism? You could lose. Going over to that other base.
No doubt.
No doubt, yo.
All right, we do have another drop sending out. 5th base for Stork is being taken. This is about halfway done. There is a missile turret for that Warp Prism to fly into. Ooh, accidentally lands it on the edge where it's not under danger.
And this should pull Terran out of position here. Another Medivac. This one is not going to go contested.
Look, he actually takes out the turret and warps in a single DT. I really like moves like that, but Forte's on top of it. Prevents that from doing significant damage. Meanwhile, we do have this drop over at the 3rd base. It's going to be completely cleaned up, though. Really not finding any damage.
Yeah, nicely done here. And Stork, playing safe, takes a 5th base in the center right before trying to push down to the bottom center.
All right, let's see here. Stork coming in. This is a scary setup. A planetary, Liberators, Widow Mines. You can't really attack into that with like a Depth Stalker, to be honest. You got to be very careful.
Yeah, well, you could end up blinking into that and you lose everything.
Yeah.
Liberator Widow Mine suddenly annihilates your whole army.
Like, he's probably, the way that Forte is playing this very defensively.
Oh, storm
really
drops.
If,
beautiful storms.
If Forte stays very defensive here, I think Stork just really needs. Oh, I love this. This is great. These storm drops.
He's storming the Marines.
But I think he will need to go into Tempest play to actually break through something like this. This is scary. He might try it.
Artosis, I think he's going to do it.
Ooh, I don't think he should.
Yeah, and I think he realizes that now.
Like this type of defensive setup, we saw what happened with Curious trying to attack in.
I was about to say that.
Like
we already saw, somebody try to just will their way through. Liberator, Widow Mine, Marine Marauder, and it does not look pretty.
Even like early late game has like a ridiculous defender's advantage in this situation. Like you really do need Tempest to try to break that.
Once again, another Warp Prism goes down. Nice targeting though with those Stalkers, definitely keeping this medevac count shockingly low. Well, I think you might want to just try attacking over here and destroying these rocks and then just moving into this side.
Yeah, this is
just keep those Liberators honest.
Well, his army is way more mobile. Like, you need the Liberators and Widow Mines to be able to fight, and they take a while to reposition. So, moving around as much as you can is a great move by Stork. Does blink in here, picking off a couple Liberators right off the bat. We do have a big stemmed army here by Forte, but not big enough to take this out.
He can actually get this Ghost Academy.
Yeah, he definitely can.
Yeah.
He can get that and possibly even kill the army. I guess he doesn't have a Size Storm, but looks like it will be time to back up as more Liberators come in.
Is he going to save that? Ghost Academy.
If he repairs it.
Yeah, let's see if he gets SCVs over there.
Oh,
burns down. Nicely done.
Sorry, he'll put another in the exact same place.
In case there was any doubt in his opponent's mind, he'll just make sure that's right over there. Uh-oh. A lot of Widow Mines here. Oh, man. He's like dancing with a lampshade over his head beside a cliff or something right now, walking by those.
He does blink in for a second.
Oh.
Great Size Storms do come down.
Yeah, big storms there.
Oh, another nice one. Forte continuing to push him back. Stork walking back up onto the high ground. In the meantime, he is, of course, taking a 6th base in that top left.
Yep. Stork always on top of those expands. This is why this guy had such beautiful late game in the olden days of RTS.
You know what, though? We do actually have Forte still in this. Absolutely. He is keeping up as far as supply goes. He's got that 4th base. He's floating over to a 5th. Very important 5th base, in fact.
Backing up. I think this will force Stork to go through the center and then loop around. And remember, Terran only has one place really that he has to defend, which is the bottom center. Eventually, this bottom right expansion will become more important as well. But, for Stork, he can just keep going where the Terran army is not. Oh, my God. We might be in a trade scenario.
He's going after Stork's 5th base right now, and he's just going to kill it. That is a beautiful setup on those Liberators. In fact, even catching some units and probes on the way out. Down that base will go. Luckily, Stork did take that top left base already. But yeah, he needs to tech up into Tempest, I think, Tasteless. Like, how else are you going to deal with this? Especially if we see Forte actually go into Liberator range.
He wants to get the handful of disruptors in the Colossus first, but it seems like Stork stayed on this tech a little bit too long. Like, Terran is, in the other games we've seen, he got to the tech that we're seeing him go to way quicker.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what was...
Well, I think he thought he